up guys, my name is Fran and welcome back to the channel. And today's video is all about eGPUs. In particular, we're going to be checking out this guy right here. This is the Gigabyte Gaming Box. We're going to do a full review on it and tell you guys why you might want to stay away from this particular eGPU. The Gigabyte Gaming Box is a Thunderbolt 3 enabled eGPU enclosure / combo. Now the reason why I say that is because this particular enclosure is only sold with a paired up GPU. This one in particular that I have here is the GTX 1070 version, but they do make other versions such as the GTX 1060 version, a GTX 1080 version, and what you see back there, that's actually the RX 580 edition. I'll explain why I actually have two of these units a little bit later on in this video. This enclosure features 4 USB 3.0 ports, a Thunderbolt 3 port that also provides power to devices such as laptops. Inside of the gaming box, you'll find a full 16x PCI Express slot that also features RGB lighting that is fully controllable through Gigabyte's gaming software. You will also find a 450 watt power supply as well as a single 8-pin connector that also can break down into a 6-pin connector. One of the most attractive features of the Gigabyte Gaming Box is its overall compact size. As it currently stands, it sits at about 8 inches in depth, 7 inches in height, and about 3.5 inches in width. Now this is much smaller than other eGPU enclosures such as the Akitio Node Pro as well as the Sonnet Breakaway Box. Now, as far as performance goes on this eGPU enclosure, it kind of depends on which edition you get. Whether you get the 1080 version, the 1070 version, the 1060, or the RX 580, you might get all different types of results. So it seems like the Gigabyte Gaming Box is a pretty awesome external GPU, right? Well, not so fast. There's actually 2 issues with the gaming box, one being an absolute deal breaker for me, and definitely a reason why I would highly not recommend this eGPU enclosure. So issue number 1, the noise. I don't know if you guys can hear it in the video. There is a really loud buzzing sound that comes out of this eGPU enclosure. Now it's not exclusive to one of the other units because I've tried it in both this one as well as my RX 580 and I hear the exact same sound. Now the other issue that I have with this eGPU enclosure, and one that's an absolute deal breaker, actually happens to be its GPU compatibility. Now this is my first eGPU enclosure. This is my first gaming box. Now this one in particular actually happens to be the GTX 1070 edition. Not that it actually matters, but I did end up picking this one up online at quite a discounted price tag, primarily because it doesn't actually have the original GPU. You can probably see through the grills down here, this is actually a GTX 1060, an aftermarket Asus one at that. Now this particular GPU does in fact work inside of the system, but remember the point of this actual unit is to hook up to my Mac Mini as well as my MacBook Pro, and unfortunately Apple has removed NVIDIA graphics driver support inside of their newest macOS Mojave. So unfortunately, NVIDIA graphics cards do not work. So I am only left with AMD options, Radeon 560, 570, and 580 to be exact. Now there are plenty of graphics cards that will fit inside of this small form factor chassis. However, there happens to be one issue with this unit, and that is it is not compatible with a lot of AMD graphics cards. I mean, I ended up trying a bunch of different ITX form factor graphics cards, and none of them would seem to actually work inside of this unit. Now after doing quite a bit of research, granted research I should have done before I actually purchased this unit, I actually figured out the actual issue. This unit only provides a very small amount of power at the PCI Express slot, somewhere in the neighborhood of about 25 watts to be exact. Now despite the fact that it does have a 6-pin / 8-pin PCI Express connector for any graphics card, unfortunately most AMD graphics cards do draw more than 25 watts of power from the PCI Express slot. So pretty much any graphics card, except for it seems like the one that comes inside of the retail gaming box, do not work inside of this unit. The reason why I purchased a second gaming box, the one you see behind me hooked up to my Mac Mini, was actually to prove a theory. I wanted to know if it was a PCI Express power draw problem, or if the retail version of the RX 580 gaming box actually had a specially formulated, a specially designed graphics card that only pulled around 25 watts from the PCI Express slot and actually pulled all the rest of that power from the 450 watt power supply that's inside of this unit through the 8-pin power connector. And my theory happened to be right. So when moving that graphics card over to this unit worked perfectly fine every single time, and I had absolutely no issues booting this unit with that particular AMD graphics card. And just to prove to myself that that gaming box didn't actually provide more power at the PCI Express slot, I moved those other graphics cards to that unit, and that unit did not work anymore as well. Okay, so I'm gonna end this video right here, but if you have any insight into this particular problem, do me a favor, let me know down in the comment section below, and hopefully without using any type of GPU risers with power injection. And also, if you like this video, hit that like button, and if you aren't already subscribed to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. I got some more awesome technology content coming up real soon. Once again, guys, my name is Fran. Thanks for checking out this video, and I'll see you guys in my next one.